back, TwT fans. This is episode 249. It's January 9th, 2025, and I'm so glad that we're all still alive. Before I get into anything today, let me start out the way I always do by saying thank you to all of you out there. Everybody who interacts with the podcast, everybody who subscribes, I greatly appreciate all of you. If you're new to the podcast, remember to subscribe, all right? It's the most important thing you can do for the channel. It's also free for you, so go ahead and be clicking that subscribe and then give a thumbs up for all the videos. If you want an opportunity to be a guest on this podcast, talkinwithtopher at gmail.com is where you send the email. That's the official email of the podcast. It's super easy to do. You either send a video, audio, or type it out, but you got to send it over to talkinwithtopher at gmail.com for your opportunity to be a guest or tell your story. And of course, as always, the Linktree link is the easiest way to find everything TwT. It can also be found in the description of this video and every video that I put out, along with all of today's links for this episode. And now, with all the housekeeping out of the way, what's happening, everybody? How are you all doing? How is 2025 treating you? So far, so good here. I am now official. I have my numbers. I'm in Manchester, and I work for Town Fair Tire. So if you need some tires, I'm your guy. Come and talk to me. I'm very excited about this. It's now been six weeks, I think. And I'm starting to feel pretty good about my position and becoming the salesman that I need to be. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I do have to say that over the course of 17 years since I've been in the tire industry, the mechanics of the tires have not changed. I still can go into the back room and I know exactly what everybody's doing. I see it, and it's kind of fun because it brings back memories, right? So I've been sitting on a bunch of memories that I totally forgot about because I was drinking at the time. And when I used to work at a tire warehouse in Pennacook, New Hampshire, 17 years ago, everybody. It's crazy to think about it like that, but it's amazing how time flies. And so I go back there, and nothing has changed about the mechanics. How you take them off, how you put them on, how they flip the rubber, all the things that you do for tires. The only thing I can't do that we now do, well, Town Fair Tire's always done, is alignment. So that part of it is a learning curve, and every inch of a tire today has completely and absolutely changed. And I think one of the most interesting things is that they are using AI today to redesign the tire. And it's very, very interesting to read into, to learn about, and understanding all these tires is a monster in itself because there is so many different variables to every single piece of rubber out there. It's very interesting, and boy, oh boy, if I didn't like learning, this would be extremely difficult because there's just so much to learn. Just start at the rims. So many different bolt patterns and sizes, and you can up things and down things within a certain degree, and it's just wild to watch a lot of these guys just cruise on through a tire and wheel sale and manipulate the sizes so quickly to get something to fit on your vehicle. It is pretty impressive. I was really blown away by it because I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. And they're like, don't worry, this comes with time. This is not something we're expecting you to do. We're only expecting you to do this, this, and this right now. He's like 6-7 months down the road, you should be really good at this. And I was like, okay, so the expectations of where I'm supposed to be is right where I'm supposed to be right now, which is also nice because I'm getting a ton of feedback from everybody. They're letting me know what I need work on. They're letting me know what I'm doing good at, and they're letting me know what I need to do at a specific time in my training and as I grow with the company, where I need to be at the specific time that I'm in, which is just a complete 180 from where I was at, because nobody had any idea of where I was supposed to be, how I was supposed to be doing things, or what I was supposed to be doing at any moment in time when I was in the restaurant industry. So a complete night and day situation. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if you're looking for tires for your vehicle this 2025, I will be in the Town Fair Tire in Manchester, New Hampshire, and I look forward to seeing anybody who wants to stop on by. But it did take, some time for me to get comfortable and to be able to assist and help anybody out there who wants to come and buy tires from me. So I did want to hold off on this, and I think it was definitely the appropriate thing to do. So I'm very excited for it. It seems like it's going to be a fun venture. I don't know if it's going to be the last venture. The way I think about things, everybody, is I don't think I'm ever done. And if I'm never done, then I always have something else to do. And if I have something else to do, or I'm working on something else, then I am alive and I'm moving. And this is where I think, we need to think differently about like retirement and stuff. When you stop, you perish. And when you keep going, it keeps you alive because you have something to work towards. And so I never want to say that I'm done or I'm in the place I am supposed to be. I'm in the place that I'm supposed to be right now, and we'll see what the future holds. Obviously, we're all waiting for January 21st at this moment in time, and it does look like they are trying to stop it from happening in a sense with all of these. I don't want to get too much into it, but the drones. I don't believe that these are not American. I don't think they're not of our military. I don't think the U.S. doesn't know what these are. I think they all know exactly what they are, just like I'm assuming I know exactly what they are. And my assumption is they're getting ready to make it seem like we're having an alien invasion so that they can stop Trump from getting into office, because now we've all got to get together and we got to fight the aliens. No, there's no aliens. They're demons, right? But we can't call them demons because then we would be saying God is real. And we can't say God is real because, well, they can't do that. I forget the exact reason. I'm so silly with this shit. But at the same time, I do not believe them. I don't think anybody out there should believe that we don't know what these things are. They are up to something. They are they've got an idea in mind, and they've been saying it for a long, long time. If there was an alien invasion, we would be able to put in laws. We would be able to be like, hey, we need you to do fight for us, and and we're going to do this together. The whole world is a collective. No, this is a way for you to have control over the whole world. Because if it's an alien invasion, it affects everybody. And then what? Now we're all under your martial law, and you're the ones that are going to protect us from the aliens that you provided? No, I don't believe a damn thing is actually happening. I believe they are manipulating us all to believe something's happening so that they can prolong Trump getting into office. That's what they're doing. This is all fake. It's all been fake. They are pulling at every straw that they have right now to try and make something happen. And, January 6th is now come and gone, and nothing happened, just like I thought nothing would happen. I don't think that these aliens are invading us. I don't believe that the Democrats have a leg to stand on anymore. They just don't. They want to keep living by these lies, and they want to keep pretending like they're doing something for us, and they're not. And I don't know if things are going to get better because Elon seems to be fucking shit up. They keep going towards corporations, and I think that we're all screwed in the end. We're all screwed in the end because whether you believe or not, they're going to do whatever they want, and whatever happens, we have to deal with the outcome because what are we going to do at the end of the day? What are we going to do? Think about it. If if somebody out there, right, you've got weapons and you've got land and you got all these things and you're like, I'm going to go off the grid, and if the government comes in, I'm going to fight them. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, is there anybody that is, I forget what they call the, not hoarders, but they're preparing for the worst, and they're making it so they're self-sufficient, and they're doing these things. And I think that's great because sometimes we do need to see whether or not we can be self-sufficient, take ourselves off the grid, put in solar power, build bunkers, and all of this to protect our family from our government, from trying to take us over. I don't think that is some crazy, outlandish way to think today. If you look at the way the government is treating us, actually, it makes sense that you would want to protect yourself from our government, who's trying to make it so that we'll have nothing and we'll all be happy. Yeah, happy. Yeah, of course. Whatever you think happiness is in your eyes is what we're supposed to accept as happiness, right? I do find that to be very troubling that somebody's going to tell me how I'm going to be happy. We should all be able to find our own happiness. But is there one person, right, that if the government starts pushing back and they start invading your property, I'm just hypothetically speaking, is there anybody out there that has enough to fight our actual armies and our Marines and our Coast Guard? Like, I want to believe that you couldn't protect yourself from, say, the police department or that state's force, right? But when it comes down to actually the government pushing back, and the Marines and the Army and the Air Force and all of them, I don't think there's any of us that are prepared or could even withstand an actual fight against them. I don't think it could be done. I want to be hopeful, but at the end of the day, everybody fears our armies and our force and our militaries and all of that. They fear it all around the world. We say it all the time. If you attack us, we'll come back harder. I mean, I do believe that we've spread ourselves so thin that, we are a little bit weaker today. Our chain links are stretching too thin, and eventually they'll break. But when it comes to actually implementing some type of law upon the U.S. citizens here at home, I don't think anybody could withstand an actual battle with our U.S. Government. I just don't. Our federal government, or whatever you want to call them. I don't believe that anybody could withstand that force. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's actually kind of scary that you may not be able to protect yourself as much as we would like to pretend we can. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I do believe that these drones, this alien shit that they keep telling us is absolutely bullshit, and they are using it to manipulate us and or control us, because at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want full control. They want to have control over the world, and they want it to be all simplistic and all the same across the board, because then they can control it all. This is all by design. Everything that's happening is by design. And it's really, really scary, because it seems like they are starting to slip. Sorry about that. I'm a little dry this morning, which is better than being all drippy. But this weather is crazy right now. It is freezing cold out, and this is something that I really do fear is global cooling. I hate this so much. I don't know. I live in New England, but it wouldn't have been my choice if I had one. I would possibly like a warmer climate all year round with like maybe a little bit of a chill. But I forgot where I was going with that. Uh-oh. Well, all right. Well, since I lost track of what I was doing, let's get into some Topher's topics today. All right, everybody? Okay, so you know how I love how they keep telling us that things that are good for us turn out to be bad, like plastics and microplastics and vaccines and all the stuff that they keep telling us, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, this stuff is healthy for you. And then years, decades, 50 years down the road, you find out that the stuff is no good. They put too many preservatives in it. The food is garbage. Plastics are leaching more microplastics, and the amount of plastic that we're ingesting every day is about a credit card, and it's shrinking men's taints, and it's causing reproductive issues, and blah, 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 blah. So now there is a new wonder material. Yeah. That will change the world, is declared safe for humans. Yay! How much testing has this gone through, and what is it? A nanotechnology material called graphene has captured attention worldwide, with many scientists dubbing it the latest wonder material, with the potential to have enormous human impact. Graphene's structure, made of carbon atoms arranged in thin sheets, has properties that make it strong contender to revolutionize many industries. It's often regarded as the thinnest and strongest material discovered so far, showing flexibility that few materials can match. Its potential uses range from improving electronic devices to creating better ways to clean water. After examining these possibilities, it makes sense to consider how exposure to this material might affect the human body. Dr. Mark Miller from the University of Edinburgh has been involved in efforts to understand the role of graphene may play in our lives. Graphene in the human health. Recent human studies indicate the controlled inhalation of type graphene, known as graphene oxide, does not pose short-term lung or heart risks. It's tested for the first time in people through carefully designed trial. The version used was made to be compatible with water. The idea was to ensure that this material fit medical standards as closely as possible. The work involved groups from universities of Edinburgh and Manchester, which signals a broad commitment to understanding its safety. Researchers want to know if a larger long-term dose might create different results, since the structure of graphene is incredibly fine. So another thing that we are making that what? We're going to put chemicals into, we're going to put stuff that we're going to consume into. So what? This is going to replace plastic bottles. How does it break down? How does it do in the environment? What does it do to the environment while we're making it? What are the repercussions for this product? How much more pollution are we going to make for a new product? And how long before this new product turns out to be unhealthy for all of us? Just because they say it's safe doesn't mean it's safe. It doesn't. I don't believe you when you say it's safe. I don't believe you when you say that you understand that this is going to not cause lung and heart problems. Because how old is this, right? How long have they been working on it? How long have they been testing this? They're checking blood for blood clotting, no serious side effects on breathing or blood pressure. It's taken more than 10 years to develop it. That's not long enough, everybody. It's not. 10 years? That's nothing. That's a blip on the radar. No, you come and talk to me when it's been around longer than that. It looks like graphene's discovery was in 2004. So it has been 20 years. Do you think that's long enough? Do you think they have all the answers? Or do you think that they've dumped enough money into a product that now they have to release it in order to bring back some funds to make up for what they put into this product? I think that's where the end game is, always. Hey, we've been working on this product for 20 years, guys. We've dumped $500 billion into it, whatever it is. I'm just guesstimating. We need to make some money off of this, or we have to shut the product down. Do we have enough testing? Can we say we've had enough testing? Can we get this on the market? And they're like, well, not really. We still need another 10 years of testing. Well, we don't have 10 years. So we need to release something that says this shit is safe so that we can get our money back. So give me those results or I'm shutting you down. You're going to tell me this doesn't happen on the regular? Get out of here. That's what I think's happening. So we have now eradicated the murder hornets. Yeah, eradicated them, everybody. Invasive murder hornets are wiped out in the U.S., officials say. Really? Really? You got rid of them all? Come on. It's a bug, everybody. You can't stop them. What? Did we build a wall and keep the rest of them from getting in? No, we didn't. You can't build a wall against these things. The world's largest hornet, an invasive breed, dubbed the murder hornet for its dangerous sting and ability to slaughter a honeybee hive in a matter of hours, has been declared eradicated in the U.S. 5 years after being spotted for the first time in Washington state near the Canadian border. The Washington and U.S. Departments of Agriculture announced the eradication Wednesday, saying there had been no detections of the northern giant hornet in Washington since 2001. Well, isn't that fun, everybody? We can't cure cancer. We can't do so much in this world. And yet we have managed to eradicate a bug. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. You eradicated a bug, but you can't cure cancer. What? How did you do it in 5 years? How? What'd you do? How'd you do it? Look, man, they'll say anything, right? To make us feel better. They'll say anything to make us feel better. And I just do not believe that it's true. I don't believe that it's true. It sounds good, but there's so many things we've been working on for decades, hundreds of years, and we still haven't figured that shit out. But yet in 5 years, we eradicated a bug. Okay, sure. This isn't clickbait. So JP Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo sued for failing to prevent fraud on Zelle. What? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said Friday it filed a complaint against 3 of the country's largest banks and the operator of Zelle, the most widely available peer-to-peer payment system for allowing fraud to fester on that network. CFPB alleges that as a result of hundreds of thousands of consumers of JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo have lost more than $870 million since Zelle launched 7 years ago. Zelle disputes the estimate. The three banks named as the defendants in the suit co-own Zelle, along with four other big U.S. banks, Capital One, PNC Bank, Truist, and U.S. Bank. The nation's largest banks felt threatened by competing payment apps, so they rushed to put out Zelle, said CFPB Director Rohit Chopra in the statement. By their failing to put in place proper safeguards, Zelle became a goldmine for fraudsters, while often leaving victims to fend for themselves. So another fraud situation. And look, I don't know when everybody thought that these things were actually safe. They've been saying for a long time to be very careful of what you're doing. Even on Facebook Marketplace, you have to watch out for fraudsters. You have to watch out for fraud everywhere. Absolutely everywhere you have to watch out for fraud. It's just the way it is today. You have to be very careful. You ever get an email and it sounds like something, but then you see lowercase, uppercase, and all these symbols kind of mixed in with it? That's a scam. When you are on Snapchat, you go to Snapchat and you're flipping through, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call, right? A video call. Or somebody hits you up. It's this beautiful woman. Hey, can you send me $39.99? My phone is broken. Right? I want to see you, baby. But my camera is broken. You need to send me $30 so I can use my camera. That's a scam. Their camera's not broken. They're using the phone. How can the camera be broken? I will tell you right now, I've had multiple phones. I've had multiple phones break. The one thing that never broke on my phone, camera. Never broke. Always usable. And what is $40 going to do for that phone? You fix my camera. And now it's fixed for $40? What are we talking about here? You have to bring that to somebody. They have to rip it open and repair it. They have to pull the camera out, put a new one in. That's how you fix a camera. You don't just pay somebody $39.99 and now their camera's fixed. You know what I mean? So these things, yes, they help people fraud people or take away their money or make it easy to sell something that's not real. But it's up to us to be able to figure it out. So I don't know what age bracket got hit by this, but I'm assuming, again, it's people my parents' age or older because they're the easiest targets right now. Because the younger generation, I believe, understands most of this. And if they don't understand most of this, that's too bad, because you spend more time on these devices today than I have an entire lifetime. So if you don't get it, I think we're all in trouble eventually, because, you know, these are set up by design. They're set up by design. These people see a loophole. They see an easy target, and they're going to take it, especially with today's world economy. It's horrendous, and everybody is just trying to get to this goal that's completely unreachable for at least 90% of us. But we all want to get there. All right, we're going to get into some Topher's theories. We're going to have some fun with it. China's Agibot eyes 1,000-strong humanoid robot army to beat Elon Musk's Optimus. The company has established a data collection factory to gather real-world data through activities like folding clothes and doing laundry. A Chinese robotics firm has started mass production humanoid robots for general use, while its U.S. counterparts like Tesla are aiming for such a feat in 2026. Agibot, or Zayun Robotics, showcased footage of its manufacturing facility on its official website and revealed that it's on the course to produce 1,000 units by the end of the year, according to Chinese online news outlet. Founded in February of 23 by Peng Zhu, a former participant in Honghuai's Genius Youth Program, the Shanghai-based startup launched its first humanoid robot model, the Raise A1, in August of 23. On August 18th, the company introduced 5 new wheeled and bipedal humanoid robot models designed for various tasks, including domestic chores and industrial work. So, let's see. To date, the Agibot has produced over 962 humanoid robots, demonstrating its growing capabilities in the robotic field. The blend of human-robot collaboration, and data-driven training aims to improve the functionality and adaptability of its robots for a range of domestic and industrial tasks. So these guys are competing with the new Optimus bot from Tesla, and they are, trying to mass produce these things, and they're going to make an army of these things. So everybody's going to have an army of humanoids. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I do believe we are going to see either iRobot or Terminator. I'm telling you, if this thing ever goes GAI or AGI, we're all in trouble, everybody. There's so many of these fucking things now that as soon as that system launches itself, we're all in trouble. The dogs are going to come and find us. The robots are going to be right behind it, and all the self-driving vehicles are just going to drive over us. It's going to be wild. We're going to have no control, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to eventually get to the point where this thing is autonomous. So it's AGI, I believe. And it's going to be trouble for all of us, everybody. The only thing I could hope for at that point is that the power grid goes down and it just shuts them all off. Because without power, the internet does not exist. If the internet does not exist, these things can't function. So maybe that would be the best thing for all of us, to just wipe out electricity and stop the evolution of these humanoids and this AI before it becomes the absolute end of us, and it figures out how to make a power source that cannot be shut off. Therefore, it cannot be shut off, and it will just rule the world and make us its slaves in the end, right? I mean, what's to say it can't happen? So I thought this was really interesting. This was sent to me by a friend, and it's a water-powered humanoid robot with synthetic organs and artificial muscle coming in 2025. Now, this is wild, everybody. So as you can see in the video here, I can't play the sound because it's music as usual, but they're showing a replica of a robot that walks and moves more human-like than ever. The functionalities of the hands, the wrists, the grip, and then you can see like the skeletal version of it with all these vein-looking things that have the water running through it. And as the water pumps, it makes the arms go up and move. But look at the movement of this thing. It's so much more human-like than any type of humanoid we've seen so far, that I've seen at all. But the comparability to the movement of a human, and it's just remarkable. It's so much more real. So already, right? Already, We're going from mechanical robots that have no movement like a human to mechanical robots that look like a human, move more like a human, have, what was it? One of them had 600 joints or something to give it all the mobility, to now a water-powered humanoid robot. So actual veins where water is running through it to allow it to move more like a human without all the robotic components. It's the evolution of this in front of our eyes is absolutely incredible and amazing, but also so scary, because how long before we get to T-1000, I think it was, in Terminator, where the guy was liquid? It was like a liquid metal, and he could shape shift and all this other stuff because he was made out of a liquid. How long before we get to that? Because it seems like we are pushing for it right now. So I've been talking about manipulating weather, how we are changing the weather, how the weather is changing, and everybody wants to blame global warming, and nobody wants to blame the wind turbines or all this stuff we're putting into the ocean to change the waves and all the ways that we're manipulating and causing weather to happen. Nobody wants to blame that. We all just want to keep saying that it's global warming and, you know, the world is falling apart and we have to be careful in our carbon footprint as usual. If nobody was making something to manipulate the weather, I would agree with all of it. I would say, yes, you are absolutely correct. Something's happening with our planet. But unfortunately, the wind turbines are screwing up the ocean. It's screwing up migration. It's screwing up whales, fish, sharks, all of it. All the places that they used to go, these long wind tunnels in the ocean that they used to follow, are slowly being destroyed by the vibrations of these wind turbines, by the millions and millions and millions of tons of concrete that have been put into the ocean bed to hold things in place, to build walls, to stop tsunamis and break waves from crashing in on us. All of these things have changed the way the wind blows, the way the oceans are acting, the way that the mammals are acting, and the fish and the creatures and the birds are reacting. All of this has a great effect on everything that's happening. So why would I believe that the one thing that's really, really doing it is the fact that it's my carbon footprint changing everything? And it has nothing to do with the amount of garbage and shit that every government on this planet has done to manipulate, change, or destroy actual ecosystems. But I'm telling you right now, something is happening. But it's not what they're telling us. But look at this, everybody. This, I thought, was really interesting because it kind of proved my point. Watch this video. This is the birds migrating, but they are confused. Look at the formations that they're making. All right. What is this? Why are they doing it like this? What are these formations? Is this because things in the weather are different? The wind is not quite what it used to be. So because of that, now they are confused. They don't know what they're doing. Never mind the fact that birds aren't real. So maybe the formations they were making were never the formations they were supposed to make. Maybe these are the formations. Maybe these formations are trying to tell us something. Maybe. Either that or all of this 5G bullshit has also messed up the birds, or if they're not real, maybe all of this stuff going on is messing with the controls and they're losing control of the birds. I don't know. Take it any way you want. You tell me. What do you think? I believe birds are real, okay? I shot them when I was a kid. They bled. There was no mechanical components. And yes, I know. Why would you shoot a bird? I was a 10-year-old child with a BB gun. That's the first thing in my sights is a bird. You know, growing up, when I was a kid, it was normalized. That's what you did. You shot birds, you shot squirrels, you tortured frogs. I know it's not acceptable and it was mean, but at the end of the day, sorry, you know, I killed a couple toads. You know what I mean? Like, not the end of the world, but it was something that we commonly did, and every unfortunate bird that came in my path when I had a BB gun when I was a child, yeah, they were not robots. They were not robots. So I don't believe that birds are not real. I just don't know what's going on with these birds. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is not because of my carbon footprint or global warming. This is because of frequencies that are being thrown throughout the atmosphere, and they are manipulating these animals into confusion. And this is going to screw up the planet more because they're not doing what they've always done. And what they've always done is what keeps our world turning. It's what keeps our ecosystems the way that they are. And when we start changing all of that, and then you're like, it's your carbon footprint that's changing everything. The fuck it is. And nothing that you've done is changing anything for anybody. No. You can't tell me this is all my fault and then turn around and do things or build things that manipulate ecosystems and the wind and the water and everything else and be like, nope, it has nothing to do with any of this. We tested it all. This is absolutely perfect. It's perfect. And we know what we're doing. It's your fault. Your carbon footprint. It's because you don't leave the house. No, they are up to something. And they are manipulating and changing everything to fit their narrative. These are very interesting. This one here I wanted to touch on because I don't know. Could time travel be real? It may be possible. I don't know. Right? I don't know. I can't travel through time, so I have no idea if this is real or not. But it is interesting to investigate and look at, and I just wanted to touch on it and hear what he has to say.
Hello, my name is Alfred Bielik. I have been involved in the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, time travel. I wound up in the 28th century, and this was in the time period of 2749 to 2751 AD. Talk about changes in civilization, society, and everything else. It was drastically changed from what we saw in 2137, as this is now 600 years later. The cities were enormous. The cities were beautiful. They had ground-based cities, much as we have always had them, but they also had something else, floating cities. Floating cities, due to anti-gravity techniques being perfected sufficiently that they could float an entire city, but it floated on this platform and they could move the city any place they wanted. Hello, my name is
What? Oh, man. Could you imagine that? Holy shit, a fucking city floating. And you're like, yeah, we're just going to move this city over here. I mean, could it be true? I don't know. I will never be alive for that. I won't. I mean, 2137 or 2749, I'll be lucky. I'll be lucky to make it another 40 years on this planet. I will be lucky. I will tell you that. So I'm never going to find out if this is real. None of us are going to find out if this is real. We will all be dead by then. Unless they figure out how to make humanoids and humans kind of melt together, and maybe you can download yourself into a humanoid body at some point, and then you live on throughout that humanoid body, and then that's how we found, how to live forever, right? It's not about keeping the human body young and alive. It's going to be about getting the human brain and everything that's inside of me into a humanoid. So therefore, I would still be alive with everything that I know from my past, but then I would still be able to acquire information and learn and move on with the future. But it's just a downloaded version of myself in a humanoid body roaming around pretending to be me. That's what I see coming. That's what I see coming, everybody. All right, I got to play this one too. I got to play this. This is so funny. And look, I said we were walking side by side with dinosaurs. They were mammoths. They were giant mammoths. Not the woolly mammoth, but something bigger than that. I don't know if it was dinosaurs per se, but we were walking amongst creatures that no longer exist, was what I was getting at. But yes, you are correct, Michael. I did say dinosaurs. So yeah, you got me, buddy. You got me. But this is hilarious.
You know how dinosaurs don't really exist? They never existed. They were invented by the Royal Society in 1841. Fact.
The class Dinosauria was originally defined by Sir Richard Owen of the Royal Society and Superintendent of the British Museum Natural History Department in 1842.
All dinosaur bones are replicas made by chicken bones from China. True story. And you know why you can't use real dinosaur bones? Because they claim that they're still radioactive because of the asteroid 66 million years ago.
In what was known as the Great Dinosaur Rush, or the Bone Wars, Edward Drebber Cope of the Academy of Natural Sciences and Othniel Marsh of the Peabody Museum of Natural History began a lifelong rivalry and passion for dinosaur hunting. They started out as friends, but became bitter enemies during a legendary feud involving double-crossing, slander, bribery, theft, spying, and destruction of bones by both parties. None of them once claimed to find a complete skeleton either, so all their work involved reconstructions. In fact, to this day, no complete skeleton has ever been found.
Okay? So now that you realize that dinosaurs are already an absurd farce. Absurd, guys. When you look into the bone wars and how many of them have been proven false, there is not one single skeleton of a dinosaur that exists in the world. None. The engineers have proven that none of the bodies would work. All the guts would fall out. Like a brontosaurus, stegosaurus. You can't prove the Earth was here 66 million years ago. I'm not saying it was or wasn't, but there's no evidence of anything. None. You can't carbon date fossils. They're stone. There's no actual living anything in them. You can't carbon. No one knows anything about timelines. This is all nonsense. It was invented by the Royal Society in 1841. You can look this up. I know people that have degrees in which they're paying off debt to this day in paleontology. They have whole degrees in things that are lies. It's like those things that you're looking at right there, those skeletons don't exist. They've never found a single skeleton like that. They're all invented. All.
Very, very interesting. And again, the dinosaurs have changed since I was a kid. They were all lizards. They all had scales like snakes, and they were just smooth. And today, dinosaurs had feathers. I do believe that dinosaurs were not real. I do believe that. I don't think any of this stuff exists. I think it was another story to tell us. Another way for them to come up with something that explains their story, their narrative, their possibilities, and they shoved it down our throats, and I believed it when I was a kid. But is a chicken a dinosaur? I believe yes. And maybe that word is incorrect. But a chicken is a creature that has been on this planet longer than I have. An alligator, a croc, have been on this planet longer than I have. And yeah, it may not be a dinosaur per se, but that species has been on this planet for a long, long time. So if you're looking for them, they're everywhere. They're still on the planet today. They're just not what they're telling us they're supposed to be. And in actuality, maybe they are just what they are, which is what they've always been. And they're still here today. And there's really no mystery. Because they just wanted to make something up so that they could have something to fight over. Right? I'm the first. I'm the first. I'm the first. Where have I heard this before? So many times. So many times. Right? We're the first. We got here first. We did this first. We found dinosaur bones first. It's the same thing over and over again. I need this to fit my narrative, and nobody else can go against what I'm saying. So, it's crazy, right? All right, my next one here, this one is just a funny holiday type of thing, and I know we're past the holidays, but I thought this was really funny, so I wanted to play it for all of you. Here we go.
You ready?
You are not wearing that to our family Christmas party today.
Yes, I am.
Derek, everybody's going to think you're disgusting.
Oh, Mom, everybody knows I do not eat cookies. It's clearly a joke.
You are so gross. But hey, you do realize that it's not an ugly sweater Christmas party, right? You're going to be the only one dressed like that.
That's not true. Because I got you one, too.
You have to be kidding me. Well, shit, I'm lit.
Yep, I knew you'd like it.
No way in all hell I'm wearing that, Derek.
Oh, yes, you are. Mom, when we walk in that party, they're going to see us and be like, the party has arrived. Come on,
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, you're bringing some obnoxious bottle of wine and some raunchy-ass sweaters to our family Christmas get-together. You realize there's going to be old people there, right?
Mom, there's like 3 of them. They can barely even see.
It's so funny. So funny. I thought that was hilarious because it's fun. It's fun, and she doesn't want to have any fun. So he's not letting her not have fun. You got to have fun. No one should be offended on the holidays. Just enjoy it. Take it in. And, I thought this was really good. So I do hope everybody out there has had a good first 9 days into the new year. Hope you had a great Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrated. I hope friends and family and everything went exactly how you wanted. For me, it was very quiet this year. I got some stuff. I don't have anything going on, but there's some things going on, and we did not have to see some people this year, and it made it for a nice, quiet Christmas this year. It's, family drama is a lot, and if anybody else is going through it, it's tough. I just want everybody to know out there that, this is something that's, people have to deal with it, right? People might be upset by what's going on, but at the end of the day, it was what was best for her. So just be understanding. It has nothing to do with you. It just, there's certain issues that cannot be overlooked anymore. And the person that is overlooking them, doesn't want to deal with them. So instead of trying to force somebody to deal with something that they should, because that's your role, sometimes you just have to unplug. You just have to unplug. And, you know, it does upset others, but at the end of the day, you know, they get to take care of themselves, and nobody else should feel like they can't take care of themselves. And if that's what you need to in order to move forward and, you know, feel better, then that's what you have to do. You know, it's just like addiction. You kick your addiction, then you kick the people that don't help you with your addiction. And then you figure out yourself and you make yourself a better person. And then you associate yourself with people that are completely outside of the circle, because those are the ones helping you the most. And the people that bring you down or don't want to make any changes because they don't see anything wrong with it, unfortunately, that's okay. You are allowed to make that decision and have those feelings. But nobody else should have to put themselves through what you're putting them through because you feel like you're not doing anything wrong, right? Yeah. So, crazy world we live in, everybody. But that is that, everyone. That's the podcast. Thank you so much again for subscribing and watching and sharing. I greatly appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want your opportunity to be a guest on the podcast or tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com is the official email of the podcast. And then don't forget about the Linktree link. It is in the description below the video, along with all the links for this video. And of course, I hope everybody out there enjoys your Thursday. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.